So I'm Dr. Chris Beyrer. I'm a professor of epidemiology at the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health in Baltimore in the United States, and I'm the president of the International AIDS Society. PrEP is a new HIV prevention tool. It's based on a biological finding actually from many years ago that antiviral drugs can prevent HIV acquisition, can prevent HIV infection. The current PrEP regimen that people are using is a two-drug combination. It's a drug called tenofovir and a second one called emtricitabine. And they are put together into one tablet. It's a blue pill, famous blue pill, called Truvada, although it has some different generic names in other countries. The first studies that showed that this new tool really worked were in 2011. We've had a number more in 2013, 2014, again just this year. So the evidence is now overwhelming. So PrEP is part of an intervention. It includes, first of all, regular HIV testing. If you're going to go on PrEP, you have to be tested every 3 months. You also need to be screened initially to be sure that you are not living with HIV infection. This is only for people who are uninfected and at risk. Of course, it's always a false dichotomy to say you're going to do either prevention or treatment, right? The fact of the matter is you have to do both. And if you fail at prevention, and you have continuing new infections, the number of people who require treatment never ends. So actually the question is, how many infections could be averted? How big an impact could PrEP have on reducing new infections? And over time, how much will that reduce actually the burden of people living with HIV and the cost of treating all those people? We feel that given the urgency of the epidemic, particularly in gay, bisexual, and other MSM, that the rollout has really been terribly insufficient. At this point, there's actually only one country in the world that is truly rolling out PrEP and where it's widely available and being used. That's my own country, the United States. We don't have a single country in Africa that's implementing PrEP. There's not a single country in Europe that is implementing PrEP either. 2 countries in the Asia-Pacific region have allowed and have a recommendation for PrEP use, Thailand and Malaysia. Neither one is paying for it through the public system, so people have to pay for it out of pocket. Well, there are a number of challenges to rolling out PrEP and implementing PrEP in this region. And they fit into a number of categories. So first of all, there are regulatory challenges because many of these countries, Truvada, the drug that we use for PrEP, is available and is used in treatment, but there isn't necessarily a recommendation or an indication or national guidelines for its use in prevention. The second issue is, of course, community. There has to be demand, community has to be aware and be educated. People don't really understand how powerful this new tool is, don't yet see in many, many communities what role it can play in their lives. What we've seen is that many providers are still reluctant to have the conversations about sexuality, sexual health, sexual risk exposure. Many don't understand the lives of gay men and other MSM. It's not easy for people to bring this up with their providers and say, I'm a gay man, I'm practicing anal sex, I don't always use condoms, I think PrEP is for me. To me, the most exciting thing about PrEP is what we're hearing from the men and women who are on it and who are using it. So the first thing that people are saying is, I feel like I've gotten control of my own health, I've gotten control of my body, I've gotten control of my sexuality. So this truly is something new, potentially a game changer, and the fact that it's allowing sexually active men to feel like they're in control of their lives is, I think, going to bring about really a sea change in the way men relate to each other and their intimacy and their sexuality. That really is a part of the next phase of LGBT liberation and equality. I think it's going to have very big impacts on our community, and that makes me really excited.